Now, I know you've been looking at some specific sector views as well, and you've been looking at retail banking.
Yeah, I think that's the area we've done the most in-depth sort of proof of concepts and so on. And there's various blogs and videos and things available on the Scott Logic YouTube channel. But essentially, that's been looking at how do you de-risk the conversational element of this. So say you want to kind of offer a slicker, more human-like customer interaction service online or as part of your app or something. So can you use these technologies to power an enhanced chatbot essentially? Because the beauty of these things is they can be far more human. I mean, I think the problem with traditional chatbots is that they can be somewhat clunky because they are somewhat mechanical and there's certain sentences and certain keywords they're looking for. Whereas the beauty of these technologies is they use language like you or I would use language. And so, yeah, what we've been doing there is looking at how do you factor in things like consumer duty regulations and conduct risk, because clearly you want to have this thing missell a product. So does that mean you don't allow it to do all of the parts of the user journey? Maybe you get it to do a financial health check. So that's where we started actually with one particular retail bank was, let's get it to do a financial health check for a customer. Let's look at the customer's outgoings and income and all that sort of stuff and build up a model of the customer, do all that sort of stuff that then builds up a good picture. And then maybe you hand off to a human employee that then would do the kind of more detailed sort of product selection and product advice. But I guess over time, as you kind of get more confident in this thing's ability to kind of stay within the guardrails it's provided, you could maybe get it to sort of start making product recommendations and things like that. But to start with, we think the easier ones are the ones where there's less downside risk to it getting it wrong. Perhaps it's then just something that needs to be clarified rather than a product recommendation going to a customer that's completely inappropriate, which would be a consumer duty type issue. But I think retail banks aren't different from any other retailer in that reputation is really, really important, right? So it's the tone of voice, the language that's used by that bot. It's the keeping it on context. So allowing there to be a degree of sort of human, natural conversation, but keeping it on point, keeping it driven towards a certain outcome, which it might be, what's the customer's sort of life stage right now? What's the most important product or thing for them? Or what is the one thing they've come to do today through their interaction with the bank? So yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. I think there are some retail banks that are starting to announce that are using some of this technology on the front line, but it's softly and baby steps to start with in many cases.
Yeah, absolutely.